Hey everyone! Before I get going with this week's episode, I just want to update you on a few things that I've got going on at the moment. So you may be aware that I recently recorded my goal setting workshop, which is now called Flow and Flourish. This is a pre-recorded workshop that gently guides you through working with the energies of the seasons, working with your own patterns and your own energy to create some personal goals in every single area of your life, not just work, not just big, like huge goals. This is designed to help you think of every aspect of your life. So that is live now and available to purchase. I've put the link to that in the show notes. The amazing thing about this is because it's pre-recorded, you can do it in your own time from wherever you are in the world. The next thing I wanted to tell you about is the next group session I've got going on, which is taking place on Saturday the 15th of March. And this is all around setting and maintaining healthy boundaries. So if you're the kind of person that finds yourself saying yes to people when really you want to say no, if you don't have your boundaries in place, then this is perfect for you. These group sessions take place on Zoom. They are 22-22. Which I think is an absolute bargain for a group coaching session, plus some Reiki in the sacral chakra. So if you'd like to join me live on Saturday the 15th of March at 10 a.m. UK time, you'll find the link for that in the show notes too. I hope to see you there, but in the meantime, enjoy this week's episode. Welcome to Love in Life, a guide to a positive mindset. My name's Lisa and I'm here to help you unlock the secrets to a happier, more confident and more fulfilling life. In the first 99 episodes, we explored not just practical tools that can elevate your mindset and your life, but also delved into the spiritual aspects like the power of crystals, universal laws and energy healing. Whether you're new or returning, let's continue this inspiring journey of growth and self-discovery together. Welcome back to Love in Life. This is episode 103 and firstly I'd like to apologise for it being late. It's Friday today as I'm recording. Hopefully it's Friday as this goes live. I had a whole episode written out about spring energy and what to do with it because that is what I've been really focusing on this last couple of weeks. Like we've had our goal setting workshop has been recorded and I've been really focusing on, noticing how you feel when you see the first buds on the trees and the first blossoms and everything. And I've been really feeling that energy. So I had a whole episode written out about that. However, things have been getting in my way of recording all week, like from Monday. So I'm going to talk more about when things go wrong or when things happen that are unexpected and how we deal with that and what to look at. But first of all, I just want to say a special hello to all my listeners in Melbourne, in Australia, because I have noticed a little surge of listeners joining me. So welcome. I hope you're enjoying the podcast. Please feel free to reach out and let me know if you've got any questions or let me know if you're enjoying it. Let me know what you'd like to see more of. I always love and welcome your feedback. So please do get in touch. And you can do this by, if you follow me on social media, you are welcome to send me a DM. You are welcome to email me. It's lisa@lisadavidge.co.uk. Okay, so I don't want this to be like a moany episode, but what I want to do is show you that things go wrong for me as well. And I question myself. When these things go wrong, I question myself as well, just like everybody else does. So I just want to share some of those things that happened for me this week that made my week run very not smoothly. So firstly, on Monday morning, I was due to start with a client at 9:30, which I will say is very early for me. The beauty of working for myself is that I can start when I want to. So usually I don't start until 10 because I like to go to the gym. I obviously like to do my morning routine. My hair takes a million years to wash. Do you know what I mean? So 10 o'clock suits me. Anyway, this client needed to start at 9:30. So I was like, yeah, I can do that. Then I had the electricians turn up at, what was it, about 8 o'clock. They were really early. I'd completely forgotten. I knew they were coming, but I'd forgotten about it. Stupidly, I didn't put it in my calendar. I'd completely forgotten about it. So that was a bit of a mad rush. I did still manage to make it with my client, but obviously because the electricians were here, there was times when I was a little bit worried that it wouldn't be as private as I wanted, or that they were going to need to turn the electrics off, but it all worked out, so that was fine. But it was just a bit of a mad rush leading up to it, you know? But the client we had an amazing session, so that all went perfectly. Straight away after that client finished, I had to go and take my car to have an MOT. Now, if you're in the UK, you know exactly what an MOT is. I'm sure in other countries you have something similar, but it's where you legally have to have a check on your car to make sure that it's safe for the road. So I had that booked in on Monday afternoon and it failed. Even though I've got a 3-year-old Tesla, it failed. I had a suspicion that the tyres would need upgrading, but I didn't realise it would fail. Now, if you fail an MOT, it's technically illegal to drive it. You are only allowed to drive it from your home to get an MOT if you have a failed MOT. So I was like, shit. George had a rugby tournament after school. So I was like, what am I going to do? And Craig was away in Paris. So I ended up getting an Uber. Luckily, the garage that I booked it into is like, I say just around the corner. It's about a 10-minute drive from the boys' school. So I got in an Uber and went to the school because obviously I had to leave my car parked at the garage. And the garage had tried getting me to upgrade my tyres with them. And they gave me a price which was extortionate. And we are trying to, because we've got a lot going on with our house at the moment. We're spending a lot of money on things in the house, which I'll update you on very soon because it's very exciting. But so we're just trying to be careful with where we spend our money at the moment. So I was like, he gave me the price for the tyres and I was like, I can't commit to that yet, so I need to go away and think about it. Anyway, so I got in an Uber, went to the boys' school, watched George's game of rugby that was just starting as I turned up, and it felt awful because I was on the phone to Craig, to the garages, as I was trying to watch George play football. So I felt awful. Whilst I don't drive my car an awful lot, I obviously don't like to be without one, because I might need to pick the boys up from school. I might need to take them to their clubs, especially if Craig is committed to things with work. Like, obviously he was away, so he couldn't do it. So it doesn't suit me not to have a car. So I needed to really get this sorted. So I was ringing other garages, trying to get the price of the tyres cheaper, which I did. So in the end, after George's rugby tournament, we ended up getting an Uber, driving to the garage, picking up my car and bringing it home. So as then I could take it to this other garage the following day and get the tyres changed. So as then I could take it back to get the MOT reset. This is feeling like a very long story. I'm sorry if it's boring, but I'm going to carry on. Bear with me. So the following day, I had another client in the morning, and this client was coming to my house, which I don't have very often. Most of my clients are virtual clients, but this lady happens to live locally, so it's been really nice having her to the house. Because I've got a lovely room where I can do all the different things I do. This was a Reiki client. And yeah, so it's been really lovely being able to share that space with somebody. So I needed to see that client, and this is Reiki, yeah? So I needed to make sure, because I'm channeling the energy to her. So I didn't want to pass on any of my frantic, oh my God, what am I going to do energy to her. So I had to really cleanse my energy, which I always do anyway, obviously. But I had to really make a point of throughout the session that I was really focusing on her and not letting anything slip into my mind about things that were on my mind. And actually, that was a really good, nice hour or so for me to kind of forget about what was going on. It doesn't even sound that bad, like not being able to drive your car, but when you rely on your car, it's very annoying. So anyway, had my client, and then after my client, that's another thing, right? When I was in this Reiki session, my phone never goes off, right? But when I come out of this Reiki session, I had 13 messages. I had missed calls from the garage who were doing my MOT. Honestly, it was like, what is going on? So Alfie had texted me asking for his rugby boots because he had an extra rugby session that he didn't know about. I can't drive my car until it's legal. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I will bring it to you, but I don't know what time it's going to be, but I will get them to you for when you need them. So I managed to obviously get the tyres done, drive it to where it was getting its MOT reset. And I was like, how long do you think this is going to take? And he said, because it's already gone through the MOT, we do need to go through everything again, but it should be quicker this time. But I couldn't run the risk of Alfie not having his boots in time. So I then got in another Uber leaving my car there, to take Alfie's rugby boots to him at school, left them in the school office, and then I did have a lovely walk back to where my car was. It was a beautiful day. We've had beautiful weather here in England this week, and it was a lovely walk, so that was great. It took me about 25 minutes, 30 minutes. It was just a beautiful, beautiful walk through like a nature reserve. And as soon as I got back to the garage, he said, yeah, it's passed, it's fine. But he said, you wouldn't believe it. As soon as you got in the taxi, the mechanic who was working on your car pulled your car off. So I could have driven if I would have just held on for another 5 minutes, but I couldn't run the risk. Do you know what I mean? It was one of those weeks where whatever decision I made to try and make the right decision, I'd make the wrong decision. Do you ever get weeks like that? And then it turned out that Alfie didn't even need his rugby boots in the end because he went to hockey instead. I'm like, just remembered another thing that happened on Monday. I had ordered shopping to pick up from the Tesco's near the boys' school, but it completely, because my car failed the MOT and then I ended up getting an Uber there, I completely forgot about it. So it was only the following day when I was like, why haven't I got any milk? And I was like, shit, I was meant to pick up shopping yesterday. So I had to ring them, and luckily they were fine. They were like, yeah, if ever you don't pick it up, we just cancel the order, which I don't feel great about, to be honest, but I don't do it very often. But then because I didn't have any shopping, I then had to go shopping on Wednesday, which made me lose half a day. I had lots of catching up to do on membership things and admin-y things that I needed to do in the afternoon. So I didn't get around to doing my podcast on Wednesday afternoon. I normally record it on Tuesday, okay, just so as you know where we are. I normally record it on a Tuesday. So I didn't get a chance to do it on Wednesday either. And also it just didn't feel right. I think because it has to really I have to really be in the mood for it. I have to really be in the zone. Otherwise, it just doesn't come across as natural and authentic. And those are obviously things that are really important to me. So yesterday, I'd had my podcast all planned out. I planned it in the morning because there was lots of noise going on here yesterday. They had a big drill where I don't know if you follow me on social media, but we took our conservatory down on the weekend. I say we, obviously Craig, and I was just his glamorous assistant. But we needed the landscapers that are doing our garden at the moment. We needed them to break up the base for us. So that was all happening yesterday. And the drilling was just vibrating through the whole house. So obviously, I needed to time everything correctly to get that done in between breaks or in between them taking the load out. But then, just as I was about to press record in the afternoon, I was literally just about to hit the record button and my carbon monoxide alarm started going off, which obviously I did panic about. But it turns out, well, I'm assuming that because of all the plant material that they're using in the garden, it uses a lot of diesel. The smell of the fuel was coming through the house. So I think that's what set off the carbon monoxide alarm. But I had to ring the carbon monoxide alarm company and get their advice. And it was just a big hoo-ha. So literally everything that could have stopped me this week stopped me. And talking these things back now, doesn't seem that manic, that crazy. But at the time, Monday in particular, I felt like I ended the day feeling like everything's gone wrong. I'm not usually a negative person, as you know, but I really felt like, fucking hell, everything that went wrong for me today went wrong. That's just carried on throughout the week. Maybe it's because I felt like that, but it's really hard. As you know, it's really hard when these things do go wrong, because things do go wrong. Whatever is going on in your life, whatever you're feeling, whatever vibe you're putting out there, things are always going to go wrong just because they do. Nothing is perfect all of the time. So let me tell you some of the things. And obviously, that podcast that I had planned that I was going to record yesterday, I'm not even talking about any of that shit today. I don't know when I'm going to do that because this week would have been a perfect time to talk about that, but there we go. I might do that on my socials instead. So if you want to hear about the energy of spring, come over to my socials and I'll do it on there. But how do we get out of this like sticky, icky vibe when things just keep tumbling and keep going wrong and nothing's working out in your favor, it seems? So there's a couple of things. Like, I always do my gratitude every single morning. That's remained the same this week. So, every morning, even though shit kept going wrong, there's still been things I can reflect back on and think, I'm so grateful for that. There's always things to be grateful for. Sometimes you have to look a bit harder, but there's always things to be grateful for. So another question that I've been asking myself is, am I putting something out there? Am I putting a frantic vibe out there that is attracting frantic events back? I don't think I am, because I'm super chill. I do my gratitude every morning. I did go to bed on Monday and Tuesday night feeling like, oh my God, I am so done. So that's probably the only thing I could say, that I could have probably done a little bit more reflective gratitude work on Monday and Tuesday night and before I went to bed. But do you know what? I was just so knackered. I just wanted to go and chill. So that's something I could do differently. That's going to reflect what vibe I'm putting out there, what frequency I'm putting out there. If you are a regular listener, then you'll know that when I say what vibe you're putting out there, so every emotion we feel, every feeling we feel, every thought we feel, everything's energy. So it all vibrates at different frequencies. And the more positive emotions, feelings, thoughts that you put out there, they vibrate on a higher frequency. The more negative ones vibrate on a lower frequency. So that's what I'm talking about when I say what vibe you're putting out there. And then, so the other thing, so aside from making sure I'm doing my gratitude, checking what vibe I'm putting out there, and maybe could have done a bit more reflective gratitude on the evenings, which I didn't do. And I don't tend to do, but obviously that would have been a perfect opportunity to try and raise my vibration before I went to sleep. So aside from those things, something else I do is question, is there a message for me in this? Is there something going on that it's trying to lead me to the universe is trying to lead me to a different path or to a different project or a different outcome? Like, maybe all this shit needs to mess up the flow of my week because it's meant to go in a different direction, and we'll never know what the outcome is. I say we'll never know. Sometimes you do know, but sometimes you don't, and that's okay. I think it's just, for me, my belief is having trust, having faith in the universe that if things go wrong or if things don't go to plan, it's because something just isn't aligning, and it's trying to align you. It's trying to put you on the right path. So when you have a manic week, when things keep not going to plan, like, I don't want to say keep going wrong, because I don't necessarily believe in things going wrong. Because like I said, I do have trust that the universe is putting me on the right path or is trying to show me something. So when they don't go to plan, when things seem to be messed up and starts making you question things, like next time you have one of those weeks, just check in with yourself, make sure that you're doing the things you know you need to do. So for me, I know I need to do, like, make sure I'm doing gratitude, and then maybe add gratitude practice at the end of the day as well, just to make sure that when I sleep, I'm putting out good vibrations as well, or I'm vibrating at a better frequency than if I don't do the gratitude when I need to. Yeah, and question, is the universe trying to put me on a different path? Like, is the universe trying to tell me something? So this is also the anniversary. This is the anniversary week of me breaking my hand, which this ties in perfectly with, the universe making things happen for the greater good. So as you may know, if you've listened to me talk about this before, 3 years ago, I broke my hand. And at the time, I was making wedding cakes for a living and questioning if I still wanted to do it, because, I was falling out of love with it. And I was questioning if I should still be doing it. That morning, I had asked the universe for a sign. I was doing the magic at the time. I'd asked the universe for a sign if I should still be doing it, if I should still be making wedding cakes. And then I broke my hand. So that was, I said earlier about, like, sometimes if what the universe is trying to tell you, like, Obviously I knew that because I'd specifically asked the question in the morning. So like straight away, I knew the answer to that. And just reflecting now, is this time of year like stepping into that spring energy? I know I'm not talking about spring energy today, but I am stepping into spring energy. Starting to think more about the things that I want to achieve for the next year, the next 12 months, is stepping into that energy, making the universe want to make things align for me. I don't know. This is just something that's come to my head now. Like, is it something to do with the particular energy that frantic things happen for me? I don't know. But yeah, back to breaking my hand. I've still got the bent finger to show it. If you're watching on YouTube, then you can see it now. Like, that's the straightest I can bend my finger, straighten my finger, sorry. Like, it's always got that little bend in it, which I don't mind too much now. I used to get a bit paranoid about it, but I just think it's my little reminder. I'm never going to forget that. It's my little reminder that the universe did me a favour by making me break my hand. Like 100%. I wouldn't be doing this now if I was still making wedding cakes. I would not. So yeah, I guess it's just trusting that when things happen out of the ordinary, when things go wrong out of the ordinary, when things don't go to plan, maybe there is a plan, maybe there's bigger plan. So just bear that in mind. Okay, I'm going to leave it there because I am really pushed for time this week, as you can imagine. So I do need to go. But I just wanted to say, if you are also feeling the spring energy, if you are feeling like, oh my God, this little boost of energy where the sun, obviously if you're in the UK, I don't know what the weather's been like in other places, but the UK here has been so warm this week and it's been boosting my energy. So if you're in the UK, I'm sure it's probably boosted your energy as well. And now might be a really good time to think about the future. Think about the things you want to do, the personal goals you want to achieve for the next 12 months. So if you would like to take part in my Flow and Flourish goal setting workshop, this is not about achieving big business goals. It can be if you want it to be, but it's more about going with the flow of the natural energy, working with the energy of the seasons and aligning your personal goals or feeling-based goals, emotion-based goals with that energy. So that makes it more achievable. So if you would like to do that workshop, then I will put that in the show notes. And once you've got access to it, you've got access to it forever. There is a workbook in there as well that you can use alongside it. So yeah, head over to that. I hope to see you there. Anyway, I hope your week has been going well and thanks for listening. As always, please make sure that if you listen to this every week, please make sure you rate, review, subscribe, do whatever you can. It just really helps me reach more people, which of course is my aim. And just remember, if things aren't going to plan, don't worry about it. Things will work out in some way. This podcast was late this week because of all the things that were going wrong for me earlier on in the week. But here I am, showing up. Yes, I'm late, but I'm here. So thank you so much for being here with me. Sending you so much love, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye.